How's it going, guys? My name is Theo Graham. Welcome to One Guy, One Take. I do appreciate you guys, I'm saying, checking out this video. If you haven't checked out my last three, please make sure to check those out. Those were all based on NFL. But today, we got some college basketball. We're about halfway through the season, and it's been a fun one so far. I thought I'd give you guys my opinions on my contenders and pretenders for this upcoming March. So let's get right into it. All right. First contender I have is North Carolina Tar Heels, and I will say this right now, I'm a fan of North Carolina, but I seriously think this team is great. We're third ranked in the country right now, and I think what Hubert Davis has done, after coming off last season, preseason number one, to not making the tournament, to pretty much being like a bubble team the entire year, has been really rough. But he's really turned around this year. He's really shown consistency in the University of North Carolina. Um, from past years, we're finally seeing that again, which is really good to see. And I think this team and the depth that it has definitely has a chance to make a run. You know, you have Armando, who's coming in for his fifth season. He's kind of had slow past couple games, but he is still Armando Baycott. He is really a difference maker on the court, whether it be rebounding or being in the post game. He is a great player, and he's also showing off some very flashy passes, which I really enjoyed to see that playmaking ability of his. And we've seen a couple threes of him so far. So we have him. We have versatile wing Harrison Ingram, who was a junior transfer from Stanford University, and this guy has been awesome. He's had three straight double doubles. He's been great on the offensive and on the defensive rebounding. He's been a great player, and obviously, he has a lot in his bag. He shoots 41% from three. He is not the greatest free throw shooter, but he is a very impressive player. And before we get into RJ Davis, I do want to point out Elliot Cadeau. He has been, in my opinion, one of the best freshmen in the country. His stats may not show for it. He's currently averaging 7.8 points and 3.6 assists. But in the last couple of games, he's been over 10 points, and I think he's going to continue it and have a strong start of February. So with Elliot, I think he's really opened up the game for guys like RJ Davis. I'm saying his playmaking ability is great. The game really goes at his pace. He is a fantastic player to watch, and he's really helped out RJ Davis. But first of all, let's talk about RJ. RJ is playing at a first team All American National Player of the Year type level right now. He has, you know, he's he's always been a great player with Caleb Love, but I feel like now that both players are in the right system, they've really both blossomed into great players, at their own schools. But RJ has been great, about 21 points per game. He's shooting it very effective from three, and he can really create his own shot. And when he gets hot, it's not much can stop this guy. He he's a smaller guard. It's a really smaller backcourt, but they've proved only what three losses on the season so far, and they've all been to Villanova, Kentucky, and UConn. So those are some pretty legit teams. And UNC, they do have Duke coming up this weekend, so that's another big test and another big rivalry. So I'm really looking forward to that. But we played some good teams. We quad one win against Clemson. I'm saying we beat Tennessee at home. Beat Clemson on the road, like I said, beat Pitt on the road. We have a very good team. I think we're about 4-3 in quad one play right now, and I think that Hubert can really push this team to that Final Four level once again, especially if Jalen Washington and Seth Trimble can get going off the bench. I really think that could be a huge impact for them. I just do think this North Carolina team has been stronger than ever, and I really think they're going to show it in March time. My next contender being UConn, obviously they're coming off a national championship, and this team has returned a lot of talent, and there's a reason why they're number one currently in the country. So there's a lot of depth in this team. I think the big factor has been, Cam Spencer averaging 15 points per game and shooting 45% from three. I would not want to mess with this team shooting wise. Tristan Newton probably has the deepest range in the country, which adds plenty of concern for defenses. We even saw that against North Carolina. They shot lights out. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But Clingan finally being back from injury. Him and Caravan, tough front court duo. And I'd say, the freshman Castle has been great too, especially defensively. Um, they're top three team in offensive efficiency and top 10 field goal percentage. And that's it. Like, they're impressive wins. They beat UNC neutral, beat Creighton, beat Villanova on the road, which is tough, and also Butler on the road. So I would not be surprised if this team cuts down the nets once again. Next, we have U of A, Arizona. So this team has been great in the past couple of years, and in my opinion, they have one of the strongest starting five in the country, with former Tar Heel Caleb Love and Con Boswell. And let's talk about Caleb Love. 36 points against Oregon, averaging about 19 points per game. He has really improved. I'm really happy for him. He didn't really have the right system at North Carolina, but you know, Arizona, he's really shown why he was a top recruit out of high school and why he should be considered uh, for first round draft pick, in my opinion, this year. You know what I'm saying? His 3-point percentage is around 35%, and this guy does not lack confidence one bit. And once he gets going, we've seen it. I've seen it as a UNC fan against UCLA, against Duke, whatever it may be. He's really starting to show up with Arizona. And Colin Boswell has been a big reason for that too, opening up the court for him. He's been a great playmaker for Caleb as well. Also, versatile win like Pell Larson has really helped this team. And like his high level shooting has also really improved this team's success. And I think this front court, very, very athletic Keyshawn Johnson, as well Omar Ballo. They've had a great season, like very good players. And, I really expect Tommy Lloyd to be a bit more, experienced. They did come get upset last year against Princeton, but I do expect them to be right back. Next, we have Kansas, and this is actually my last contender as of right now. They do have 3 losses, but they were all quad one losses, so legit opponents they've been facing, and they've also shown their ability to beat legit teams. They beat Kentucky, they beat Tennessee, they beat UConn, they beat Cincinnati. I feel like every single team that Bill Self coaches, he has a chance of winning a national championship. That just shows, how good of a coach he is. And, Hunter Dickinson has been great, 19 and 11. Kevin McCullough has been fantastic playing at All-American level. And I think this freshman, Elmarco Jackson, even though he has kind of been struggling shooting the ball and scoring, but he is a great defensive player, which could, cause many turnovers for this regular season and for March. So I would not be surprised to see Kansas back there. Now we're moving on to the Pretenders, and let me get this out of the way. By no means am I calling this team bad. I have 2 teams here. By no means am I calling them bad. But I just don't think they have, what it takes to cut down the nets this year. So my first team is Kentucky. So like I said, by no means am I calling the team bad. I just think for when March comes, they just don't have the veteran experience. You know what I mean? Like most of their minutes are by freshmen, And obviously this freshman class was the most exciting thing I've seen in my years watching college basketball. And I think, you had about 5 5 stars with Rob Dillingham, DJ Wagner, Reed Shepard, Justin Edwards, and even Aaron Bradshaw was back from injury a bit ago. He's really, shown what he can do on the court. And I think these freshmen have all been great. I did not expect all 5 of them to be where they are right now, but they're proving me wrong and they're proving most of the country wrong right now. There are some great players, but I just don't really see much consistency in all of them. You know what I mean? And I know it's hard to get that, especially with freshmen, which is why I don't really see them going that far in the tournament. Calipari is one of the greatest coaches in the NCAA history, but he hasn't really had much success in the past couple of years. I mean, also their effective field goal percentage team isn't great, and the last time they made the Elite Eight was 2019. So it's just I haven't seen that juice in the past couple of years. Obviously being upset by St. Peter's in 2021, they did kind of have a rough regular season compared to other years last year, only being a 6 seed and losing against Kansas State. But I just don't see it with this roster. But I'm ecstatic to see what years to come, what this team is talking about. I just don't really see much consistency in DJ Wagner, to be honest. I think he is a great player, but his shooting efficiency and percentages haven't been, where I'd like to see them for them to cut down the nets. And, him being the main point guard, we kind of want to see that. But this guy's nice. He's been like a top 5 player in high school since, rankings ever came out. And he can really get to the cup whenever he wants, man. Like he could really have his way. It's just, I want to see if he could make his first couple of shots and get going. It is scary for opponents. He can even, drop back and shoot a 3. But yeah, I just don't think this is the year for Kentucky, just due to their, inconsistency and lack of experience here. So my last team, and one of the two here, is Purdue. And I'm sorry to all my Purdue fans, but part of the obvious, 2021, 13 seed North Texas, 2022, 15 seed St. Peter's, 2023, 16 seed FDU. And like I said, I'm sorry, but that did happen. And you know, I just think that Matt Painter's had plenty of opportunities with this group to get it done as of right now, and just couldn't. And they had their way. They have their way through the regular season, and then they choke during March. This team's still awesome, but I just don't know where else the production comes from other than Zach Edey. He's probably gonna win another National Player of the Year, and he's been a great player this year for Purdue. But is Braden Smith really going to be consistent with his field goal percentage? As of late, it's concerned me. And it's just this team is also a very poor free throw shooting team. I think their defense isn't fantastic. They don't create many turnovers. Their efficiency is extremely low. They're a great 3-point shooting team. I will give them that. But, we need to make our free throws, and they are important. They are very important in elimination games. And I don't know, it's just the past couple of years have really concerned me, um, which is kind of one of the main reasons why. I just don't think Matt Painter has it in him. But you know what? They're still a great team, and great teams always find a way to win. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I just can't see it. So that will conclude everything. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. I had a great time making it. And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment whatever you want. I could take the heat. But honestly, I really appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.